Hi, Thrand here.
Hiya, this is Eldgrim.
And I know we said no more, but we're back one more time, and I hope this is the final time. But we've been requested to test out the lightsaber in actual combat. And the only way we can think of doing that is they're supposed to be extremely light. They're not as heavy as real swords, according to most people. That's what we're hearing more than it's a heavy sword, you know, it acts like a real... Well, we think they are. We think they're more like a historical sword, the way they behave due to the mechanics. But what we're going to do today is we're going to test out actual combat, like attacking and parrying and defending and trying to get a blow in. And the only thing we can come up with is to make our crossguard or quillons, you know, on our Boffer. And that's what we've made. We made a Boffer that looks like a Sith saber, like you see with Kylo Ren, I believe his name is, using it. And he's got his Sith saber without the quillons or crossguard. And if you notice, mine's way longer, but not by much. Just enough to give me a little reach advantage for thrusting or cutting with the tip. So the idea is mine's heavier. I did make it slightly heavier because it's our belief from what we've seen that his saber looks more powerful. Sith sabers are supposed to be more unwieldy as well, but his looks like it might be even more so because it's more like an ancient, archaic item, like something like an artifact.
I agree.
It's our personal belief this is something from another time period when people wore armor. The Jedi Knight was a knight. He was wearing actual armor and using something that was more like a European knight would use. A longer weapon, probably more powerful to cut through that armor, and the crossguard aided them in that type of fighting. That's what we believe. And they're probably less likely to get injured with it as well. So that's the idea behind it. But anyway, so far, so good. I haven't had any major injuries. I mean, other than maybe something touching briefly, like a piece of cloth or something that was hanging out, not even my person. So yes, maybe a cloak would be a problem there. We don't know. A big old balloony cloak, yeah, maybe you might burn your cloak. If you had a fire retardant cloak or lightsaber resistant.
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got people that have been asking to see us do this, so we're gonna fight
and see what we can do. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and start putting the paint on.
Yeah, let's do it.
Before we proceed to the fight footage, we would like to explain a little bit about Boffers and why we chose them. Boffers allow us to go all out. However, we did discover afterwards that Boffers have a lot of unnatural tendencies that you don't see in swords, and in this case we're talking about lightsabers. Boffers bend. Swords, and we assume lightsabers, do not bend on impact. One of the biggest problems we faced during production was that the bending would allow the weapons to wrap around a person's parry and still strike them, as you can see. Boffers tend to bounce, where swords, and in this case we're discussing lightsabers, they do not bounce. The bouncing changes the dynamics of a fight. It changes how we move. It even changes the outcome in some respects. As stated previously, the tendency for Boffers to bend and bounce renders traditional defenses useless. As you can see, a parry, on my part, allows Thrand's saber to bend over and around and still make contact. And the same thing happens vice versa. How does the Boffer tendency to bend and bounce affect our test of the Cross-guard Lightsaber that will be seen in Star Wars Episode 7 by J.J. Abrams? We feel that it is not a factor when you consider the bending and bouncing of the Boffers if you're considering the Crossguard's risk to its wielder. As we've seen, it caused no risk to the wielder, and the bending and bouncing might actually make it more difficult to control, thus further proving that the quillons do not affect the user.
Yep, I did as well. Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Nothing. Yeah, he hit me at the last, but I got your arm.
Yeah. You got me across the wrist with it.
Oh! Yep. Oh! Whoa!
Your leg got
Yeah, but the problem is me doing my traditional technique here, I might have lost a hand because with a real sword that wouldn't have been enough to do anything. That is a lightsaber I touched. I actually touched his lightsaber breaking over the top, so I don't know how great that'd be in a HEMA class. I guess that'd be fine. But alrighty, we've done all our fighting and playing around with it, and to be honest, both of us are more used to using actual historical style blades that actually have weight and are balanced differently. This is balanced atrociously. It's terrible. I made it kind of blade heavy, and it's heavy in the handle, but it's just kind of, I don't know, blah. But I did my best with it. A lot of mistakes I made, like I don't know if y'all saw some of them, but one of them I would forget and actually go over the top of his blade, which would just barely touch me if this was an actual blade, keeping his blade out of the way while I cut to the head. Well, the flaw in that is I would have been laying my arm on a lightsaber blade. Didn't think about it. I mean, just like you all were saying that you'd probably make a mistake and hit yourself with the quillons, I was very aware of them and they didn't seem to get in my way or hinder my fighting in any way. So I will grant you that it didn't pose a problem like some people say. Did you notice it? It wasn't. No. You weren't able to knock it into me. He not having quillons got hit way more often. If you see, look at all the paint he's got all over him, and some of that might have got on my blade, but I don't know if I have too much. Most of that was my quillons hitting him and his arm. Look at this one. Yeah, he would have lost his arm quite a bit from fighting with the quillons on it. Now, real exchanges and real fighting is not choreography. We got hit. I even got a good one to the cheek, all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah, I got one in the jaw.
We got some to the head. Our heads hurt because, I mean, those are Boffers. We're cranking these pretty fast trying to actually get in there. So the long explanation is I don't think the quillons are a big danger to you. They're more of a danger to him. They do help at times, but sometimes they don't help. You might get hit in the arm anyway. I mean, I got hit in the arm a few times by him as well. So, I mean, we were just actually doing exchanges. We're not trying to sit here and choreograph something and look cool or pretty for y'all or like a movie. That's something totally different.
No, yeah, I think just for your benefit, we did choreograph that one with the.
Oh, where I walk in, but after that there was no choreography. I just
right, yeah, that was just to kind of give it that choreographed feel, but that's just for.
Yeah, that was just to start.
For y'all's benefit.
After that, he was just leaping in, attacking me, and we went from where we went. There was no choreography after that.
Right.
Everyone won. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Hope you all enjoyed it. It took us a long time to shoot this. To be honest, we did have paint.
Hopefully this is our very last Star Wars episode.
Right. We had some paint accidents, but not in the way you would think, me hitting myself with the quillons, but having it splatter in our eye. We know there are kinds of problems we're doing, so we finally got just the right tackiness, I think, where you can see that, yeah, it marks, it does what it's supposed to do.
But it doesn't splatter and spray all over the place.
So y'all can see it. Yeah, that's what it would look like if I hit myself with it. But it's not spraying all over the place. We got it just right eventually, got it tacky, and I touched it up with a roller a few times if we actually brushed it off on his sword or his arm, what have you. And the roller worked way better. I should have just rolled it from the beginning. If anybody else wants to do this kind of video or test it out. But I hope y'all enjoyed it. This is our last lightsaber video. We don't plan on
goodness.
Yes. This was just to do from requests from so many viewers, and that's the only problem.
And they really wanted to see us fight, so you got that.
I will add that into the playlist. There's 3 videos at the current time of us testing. This will be the 4th one and the final, and you can watch them all through if you find the playlist. I believe it's Lightsaber Crossguard test, or Cross-guard Lightsaber test. You just look it up, you'll find it.
You'll find it, yeah.
Yeah, and you can watch all 4 of them together.
That's right. Yeah, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, ThegnThrand. Find us on Facebook at Thrand and Eldgrim's Well of Remembrance. Also asked to join our closed group. That's the ThegnThrand YouTube boat crew. And help improve our content, guys. Be sure to go to www.patreon.com/Thrand and make your donations there. The more we get in donations, the better the content. And of course, the more accurate our tests and everything else is just a lot more fun for all of us.
Yeah, and this was just a fun day. This is more than nothing too serious. But I do have more respect for the lightsaber and the Jedi Knight now. When people are saying that they have to have the Force to use it, there's times when Eldgrim wasn't even trying to hit me. And if it was a sword and we were doing HEMA, he nicked me or something, and I knew, well, that might have took the side of my head off. But with a real blade, I mean, who cares if you got a little nick or it touched you? It wasn't an actual cut. But in this circumstance, we were scared to death of the blades. It made it very difficult for us to fight because we knew if I just went
tap, that's it.
You know, it might have cut into his shoulder or something. And, but I mean, I honestly believe technically maybe you have to really cut with it because they don't really show you enough in the videos. And why would they be using so much force and swinging so fast and hard to cut if you didn't need the force?
True.
To well, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just me. But a lot of people believe this, and you know, you just do this, your hand falls off. So that's what we were trying to emulate. Is in the video, if we got nicked at all, like, oh, that was my leg, or oh, that was my arm, even if it was just a touch. And if y'all don't believe me, try it. If you go, it's not a blade. And this is some red hot plasma that could just burn something off like your finger by nicking
and from
it.
Any angle.
Yeah, I think they take force because I think it's a containment field.
I think so too.
Anyway, sorry about that. Just letting you all know that's why we may have looked weird and not very HEMA or even SCA or anything, because any of that little stuff like a draw cut, this light, we were considering that's a cut.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us, or if I just brush it against his arm, he has his hand cut off. But this, I think you'd get a lot of force. I'm sorry. So those times when I've revved it against your arm, I know I like. Sure. Yeah, it would have hurt. Yeah, I guarantee you that would have done.
Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
All right. Farewell.